Right then guys, welcome back to Line Bites. Today what we're going to be running through is the solid bag rig that I use for absolutely 95% of my angling situations. I'm going to go through with you the componentry that I use and how I tie it, and then by the end of this little video you'll have the ability to be able to tie your own and hopefully go out and catch that new personal best that you're looking for. Alright, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, remember to like and subscribe. I'll be doing more of these videos in the future, and yeah, tight lines and wet nets. So with solid bags there's a few essential items that we need. Obviously we need hook length, a lead weight, ideally one of the bag stems, some kickers, hooks, some screws for the bait, and then those stoppers as well. In this video, the components that I'm going to be using, alright, we're using the Corda soft end trap. Alright, this is a coated braid, but you can use an uncoated normal supple braid as well. We're using Corda crank micro barbed hooks in a size 6 with the new Corda kickers. Now they come in a range of different colours and different sizes depending on your hook. I prefer the yellow and pink ones. I have best success. I think it makes minimal difference, but it's just whatever you feel confident in. Next, we're using the Corda hook beads. Alright, same again, they come in different sizes. And on these ones I'm using small ones which are perfect for the size 6 hooks that we'll be using. Attached to that I've then got the Nash plastic bait screws. Right, any bait screw will do. These are just the ones that I happen to have in the tackle bag at the time. And then finally the two bits that we have. Alright, I've been using these Avid bag stems for quite a while now. They're relatively cheap, £2 or £3 I think for 5, and yeah, they're a great little product. They enable you to be able to change over baits and solid bags quickly, and it also means you can have them already prepared and made up ready to go. And then leads. The leads that we've got here today, alright, are the 3-ounce Fox flat inline leads. Alright, I use these because they go really well with the Avid bag stems. Alright, once you pull the insert out of that lead, the Avid one fits perfectly on it, meaning that if a fish does snap off, or for some reason your lead leaves your main line, then it'll fall off nicely, but at the same time there's enough force there, or it is sturdy enough when it's on the stem to be able to make sure that that fish feels the weight of the lead when it picks it up without it falling off straight away. Finally, as you can see in the bottom corner there, we've also got a pair of scissors, absolutely critical for tying your rigs. So the first thing that we're going to do, right, we're going to take our hook length and we're going to cut it into size. Now for your ideal bag, the hook length wants to be between 3 and probably no more than 5 inches. I personally prefer between 3.5 and 4. Alright, I find that that gives me the best hook hold in the fish, and it tends to be in the bottom lip. When I am fishing, as a point of note, if I'm catching fish and I notice that the hook is maybe holding in the corner of the mouths and the scissors, or maybe in the top of the mouth, then what I'll do is I'll shorten that hook length, alright, just to make sure that it's right in the bottom so I'm getting that firmest hook hold. So what you can see now is I'm just taking about 5 or 6 inches to start with, and then I'll use that extra length to help me tie the hook and to give me enough free hook length that I can then tie the loop in the end. So before we add the hook length on, one critically important thing to do with this coated braid is to take about 2 inches of that plastic coating off the end. What this means is you're able to tie your hair on easily, and also it just means that that back end is a bit more free flowing and has a bit more movement and it's more supple, okay? You can leave this on, but I prefer to take it off. Next thing, we're going to take our hooks that we're planning on using for this rig. Now as you can see here, I've got the crank hook from Corda in micro barb. This is a hook pattern that I use everywhere, and since it was brought out a few years ago, yeah, my catch rates have gone through the roof. It's a hook that I couldn't recommend more highly enough. So with this, what we're going to do is simply tie a knotless knot as you would for any hair rig. As you can see, I use about 8 turns round the shank of the hook before then putting the line back through the eye. Just a quick tip, alright, always make sure that your tag end, once you're finishing tying the knotless knot, alright, comes out of the eye of the hook towards the point. I know anglers in the past that have had it so that it comes out facing the back of the hook. That will mitigate any sort of hooking potential. All right, having it coming out the eye towards the point helps with that turning and also helps with the hooking potential. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to take some of the corded kickers. All right, we're going to take whichever color you fancy. I normally make probably about 3 or 4 of each. Okay, and all we're going to do is take the tag end of our hook length and slide it down over the eye of the hook so that that bend in the kicker sits nicely on top of the eye. Next thing we're going to take is our bait screw and then our hook bead. Alright, we're literally just going to hang this onto the hook so it's on the shank, and then we're going to put the hook bead on. I like to put the hook bead on so it's just below being opposite of the hook point. You don't really want it any lower than that, as you want the bait or the wafter to be able to move up and down only that short distance. We don't want it on the absolute bend just before the point of the hook, and we don't want it right up against the kicker. We want it to have as much free movement as possible, but at the same time still not affect the hooking properties of the hook and the kicker. Next things next, all we're going to do is we're going to take that tag end and then tie a overhand loop going twice through to create the bit that's going to go either through your swivel or through your quick change swivel. Alright, it's at this point here that you measure out the length that you want the hook length. As I said, I tend to go for 3.5 to 4.5 inches depending on where I see the hook hold sitting in the fish's mouth after I've managed to not blank and actually caught one. Next we're going to take the bag stems, and the first thing that we're going to do with the bag stems are we're going to attach the tag end with the loop from the hook length to the bag stem itself. Simply do this by threading the loop through the little ring at the bottom of the swivel and then taking the hook and threading it through the tag end. This will give you a nice neat hold, and the idea with this is whenever we change a solid bag, we're not changing the hook length unless it's been blunted after a fish. Alright, we're looking to change the whole system each time and then look to refill bags with those already used ones, so you've got a constant cycle. It's something that they use a lot in carp match fishing and it works really well. Once we've tied our hook length onto the stem, all we're going to do next is take the lead weight that you're choosing to use, alright, and simply pull out that black insert and then slide the weight onto the quick stem. And then you can see our complete bag rig. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it's been informative for you. If you have, then please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below on what you'd like to see in the future for these quick bite videos that I'll be compiling. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good session on your next one, and I'll see you guys soon.